Okay, before I go down there, I wanted to show you something else that's interesting. See these two pipes here? This is foam insulation pipe wrap that comes 8 foot long, and it's going over the copper pipes. And it looks like they've got, not only do they have the hot water line done, they're covering the cold water line too. And so you can see right here where it goes up. See, they didn't go from here up because they thought, okay, the insulation from the floor is going to cover that. And they have different size insulation, you know, for different size copper pipes, because not all copper pipes are the same size. You got 5/8 and 1/2 inch. And see, I'm crawling over here because I wanted to show you. You see this pipe here, it's got the foam insulation, and then it comes off the side, and there you got straight copper. Let's see if I wanted to. That looks like 1/2 inch copper. See, here's copper lines too, and those two have the pipe wrap. So I've got 1/2 inch copper. See, it goes up to that. So I could easily get that taken care of too. That stuff doesn't cost very much at the hardware store. Home Depot is where I usually get all my stuff. Okay, you see all the other copper lines are wrapped. This one looks bigger because this is probably a 5/8 line or 3/4 inch line, and then it tees off to only 1/2 inch up there. That's why this pipe size is so much bigger. See how much bigger that pipe is as opposed to that insulation up there is a lot smaller. That's because the pipe size different. Okay, I'm looking up here. This is even the copper line, and they've got it wrapped. Let's see, if I wanted to, I could come back and do this little piece from here up to the floor, which is 9 inches or so, because if I have enough pipe wrap, I could do that. Okay, now there's something else I'll need to put on my list. One more piece. See this piece here? See how it's got a split, and they've got the split facing down, and you can see the pipe almost like this piece is too small for the pipe, but when you look down here, it's all covered fine. Now why is that? Well, it's because they've got this block here, and they could have notched the side of the foam on both sides. Then they could have pulled that down. So that's something I could do and get this closer together. Okay, they did a good job cutting it into the T and stuff. And I had to do that underneath the house that I was trying to sell, and I had to put it all on, and so I would just cut my angles, 45-degree angle where the corners were, and then I would just kind of hold it up there. I wouldn't even measure it with a tape measure or anything. You can start putting it on, and then when you come down to where you think it needs, you can cut it and then finagle it and do all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty easy to do, especially something with this much room. But if you're down lower, you know, if you're down, you know, let's say from here down to the floor, it's going to be pretty tricky, but it's well worth it because the insulation on your pipes, maybe that's why you have to run your cold water or your hot water so long, because your hot water pipes underneath the house in the winter, it gets cold down there. That's why you've got this insulation. And then it gets hotter in the summer months to a certain extent for your cold water lines. Let's say you want to keep that cold. I mean, I don't know what the theory is exactly on the cold water, other than you don't want your pipes to freeze in the winter. If you're in an area where it gets really super cold, let's say, you're better off installing the insulation. But then maybe when you turn your cold water on, after, you know, a little bit, and then after maybe 10-15 seconds, it starts getting warm. You might think, how come it's getting warm? I thought this was a cold water side. Did they hook up the lines backwards underneath the sink? And more times than not, it's just because maybe there's insulation on your cold water line. You got to run it a little bit longer before it starts getting cold, let's say. Okay, but for my money, I would put the foam wrap around both the hot water and cold water lines. And like I say, you get this either 8-foot lengths or 10-foot lengths, maybe 10-foot lengths at the store. I'm not quite sure now. I haven't done it for a while, but I know I'm going to have to get some at least for that 1/2-inch water line, and maybe some more once we get through this opening over here.